Yes, sir. You already know. Hey, man, it's been a while. I'm sure people are thinking, like, man, where is these dudes at? Hey, listen, just know we're going to have a buckle in. Buckle in. We're going to have a good show, everybody. Hey, it's been a while. I already know. Listen, we're going to get the show on the road. Hey, Juan's already on TikTok. He says, I'm here. Let's go. PPC. Let's go. Hey, it's been a while, man. But look, a lot has happened. We've missed a lot. Maybe not all of you, but hey, let's talk about it, man. What is going on? Let me look at some of these. I'm looking at some of these tweets, man. And how are we feeling, Cowboys Nation, with this Zimmer hire? We got a lot of unhappy and happy people. I think we're divided. I don't know. Y'all tell me what y'all think. I'm trying to figure this thing out. I don't know. We're going to be on for a while. So, hey, tell me what y'all think on the comments. Let me know. Trying to see here. A little rusty. It's all good. Hey, check it out, Cowboys Nation. Look, we got some things to talk about. Put it on the comments. Juan says, Mike Zimmer, vale más que se ponga las pilas. Hey, yeah, man. Like, hey, I think starting off from the beginning, it's a 1-year contract. So I kind of feel safe about that. We already have a comment here from Facebook. We got Lamont Grant. Lamont Grant, welcome, man. Have you been on the show before? I don't know. I'm still going to give you a round of applause. We appreciate you. I hope it's a good hire. I think everybody feels the same way, man. We will see. Only time will tell, but I want to get into kind of the tidbits of it. Juan says, get those drama queens in check. It's true, man. There's a lot of people that are not happy. I'm looking at Twitter, or X, I should say, the more formal way. But yeah, I don't know, man. Simone Graham says, yes, I have. No, I appreciate you, brother. Thank you for tuning back in. We took a little rest here, but we're back. I had some family things to do, some college. You know how that goes, man, and obviously work. So, but look, let's get right into it. Let's talk about it. Let's figure this thing out. So, interesting facts, right, that I want to talk about. Lamont Graham says, I follow you on Instagram and Twitter. I appreciate it, man. Oh, Dominion. Look, we're going to give some of the originals a round of applause too, man. The defense needs to stop talking and do what they say every week and dominate. That's what Old Dominion says, man. Hey, Old Dominion, I keep telling you, man, you need to come on. I'm just saying, tell me when your gear's ready. But look, I was kind of like looking, seeing what's going on, kind of sitting back a little bit and trying to figure out this thing and why we waited so long to find a defensive coordinator, right? I think we should have been a little bit prepared. That's just my opinion. Newly Central says, what's up, big bro? Hey, what's up, man? Salute to you. Let's go. We're just here, man, trying to figure this thing out, right? But I think the biggest thing is, how does everybody feel about this hire? I think it's kind of split down the middle. Tell me what y'all think in the comments, man. Let's get into it. But a little tidbit for y'all, some stats to kind of piece this thing together, right? And I'll go down the line so people understand what kind of defensive coordinator we're getting. The 2010 Bengals, right? DC, he was a defensive coordinator from 2010 to 2013. So ranked 23rd in the NFL, 16th in 2011, 9th in 2012, 2013 4th. So now let's think about that. What kind of players that Mike Zimmer had in that system? All right, think about that. Vikings 2014 head coach. He was a head coach. 27th from 2014 to 2021. 27th in 2014. 15, he was ranked 10th. 16th, he was ranked 5th in the NFL. 17th, he was ranked number 1 defense in the NFL. 18, he was ranked number 3 defense in the NFL. 19, he was ranked 5th in the NFL. 20th, he ranked 25th. And then 21, he ranked 19th. All right. So not bad. Pretty good. I would say during that time, he was a defensive coordinator and head coach. During that span, you can also say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 out of the 12, he was top 10 defense, which is not bad. And now you got to think about the personnel that he had as well. I think this Dallas defense is a lot more talented than he's ever had. Juan says on TikTok, I don't care if it's Zimmer or Quinn. We want playoff wins. Well said. Well said. Donnie Luzman says linebackers. He's okay, but I want to go younger. I think everybody's in the consensus that we need true linebackers. And I'm talking about off the ball linebackers, not pass rushing linebackers. Juan says, I think Mike Vrabel would have been better. Look, listen. If I had my choice, I would like Mike Vrabel as well. I just think he's a leader amongst men. I'm not saying Zimmer's not, but Mike Vrabel is, to me, is just I would have taken him in a heartbeat. Being in that system with the Texans and then with I believe with the New England Patriots, I think he has that pedigree, and I think it would have been a perfect fit in my opinion. DC for Life says, "What did I miss?" We're just talking about the hire Mike Zimmer. How does everybody feel? I feel like everybody's kind of divided down the middle. Donnie Luzman's already giving 10-4. Yeah, I mean, okay, we'll see. He's already given the 10-4. You got to remember, there's 17 games, so I don't know if you're giving the actual number a record for next year. But look, DC for Life, there's history there. Yeah, Zimmer. I mean, Zimmer's been on here already, so. But yeah, so like I said, not bad for 7-12. Top 10 defenses. And a little context again, right? The defensive coverage index by coach from 2017 to 2023. This is an index. The index is based on a predictive win of target quality, CPOE and YAC as components of EPA dropback allowed, right? So this is dropbacks versus Shanahan tree, because we all know, I mean, the 49ers they're taking over the NFC. So dropbacks versus Kyle Shanahan's tree, right? The top one that ranks at the very top is Bill Belichick. Below that is Don Marindale and Mike Zimmer are right even. Then you got Brandon Staley right below them. Then Dan Quinn about a big spot below them. And then all the other coaches, which is Mike Vrabel, Ron Rivera, all the ones that we've had or we might have had or interviewed. So I mean, Mike Zimmer is probably the second best out of all those. So just kind of a tidbit for you guys to understand of what's going on with this hire, right? User 8470753 says Cowboys Jones sell the team. I don't think so, man. Soccer Game 445 says Mike Zimmer as the defensive coordinator is awesome. I love it. Let's go. I think a lot of people do love it and a lot of people don't. Jerry Jones always knows how to take the spotlight from the Super Bowl. Look, listen, I think at the end of the day, it's not Mike Zimmer. It's not Jerry Jones taking the spotlight anymore. Let's just be honest with it. I think a lot has to do with these networks making their money talking about the Cowboys consistently. I mean, that's kind of what it comes down to, honestly. But hey, I mean, those are the stats. That's what he's done. So look, Mike Zimmer, and I don't know if any of y'all have seen it. Darren Woodson kind of talked about it, about the Mike Zimmer hire. And he said, look, he's there about business and he's going to treat all these young players like men, and when they make mistakes, they're gonna feel his wrath. I think that's what the Dallas Cowboys need, and that's why I think Mike Vrabel was a great hire as well. I'm okay with the Mike Zimmer hire. To me, I just think he's a little bit older. But at the end of the day, man, I'd rather have him or Mike Vrabel, so I'm happy with either one. DC for Life says, "What do y'all think about DQ selling out the boys against Green Bay? True or false?" look, there's a lot of narrative on talk about that. And to me, it's hard for me as a human being not to take that context and think, did he really sell us out? Because our defense played horrible against Green Bay. It's almost, does it almost feel like it was on purpose? I would I would hate to think that, because I think if you call a great game plan and you go to the NFC Championship, you go to Super Bowl, I think you're just selling yourself as a defensive coordinator to be a head coach. Maybe I'm wrong, but I sincerely hope he did not. Um, Clint Corby says Jerry Jones sold the team to Mark Cuban. That'd be crazy. All right, we got Jose Pais. What's up, Jose? Welcome, man. Hey, it's been a while, but we're back. Jose says, I wanted Vrabel too. Steven went with what he knew or with who he already knew. Yeah, and there's a consensus of Jerry Jones got his puppet, right? I think I saw that on X as well. People saying that on X. Hey, he got another puppet. I don't think so. I think Mike Zimmer's that type of dude. He's a cut of cloth from the Bill Parcells, the Sean Paytons of the world. That's where they came from. So I think he's a hard-nosed coach, and I think that's what this team needs, really. DC for Life zone, really zone, more like unprepared. Yeah. Loyalty for Life says, Cubo, saludos, chingon. Yeah, what's up, buddy? Hey, we're back, man. We took a little break. Hey, it was a much needed break. Honestly, going to school, taking care of family, working. It's a lot, man. But I'm happy to be back. Hey, start talking about, after the Super Bowl, we'll start doing a lot of players coming out of college. So we'll be talking about that. We'll have the discussion. Juan says, they do need a tough coach. They are too happy to lose in the playoffs. They have no fear of losing. Yeah, and Juan says their job. I mean, I think that's kind of the atmosphere that Jerry Jones creates in there. Like, it almost seems like you're not going to lose your job, right? And I don't think that's conducive to winning in the NFL, to be honest. I think you have to be hard on these players. I think they want that, and I think they need that. So, we'll see. Loyalty for Lifetime says, welcome back. Let's go find some linebackers. Yeah. Hey, we're going to do a deep dive. I've already been watching film. Although we haven't been live, I've already been watching film. I've been watching running backs. I've been watching defensive tackles, linemen, linebackers. I've been kind of switching off and on. Wide receivers. I think we need another wide receiver somewhere. But yeah, man, I think, in my opinion, I think you have to go after a linebacker in one of these in this free agency, and then pick another linebacker up. But we'll see what happens. DC for Life says it's all about accountability. Need that fear factor that Jimmy had, cutting players on the field. Yeah, that's exactly what we need. Juan Pollard, Gallup, Cooks. Pollard's probably not coming back, man. I'll be honest. Gallup's probably going to get traded, either that or cut, depending. Cooks, he's back because I think he's on for one more year, I believe. Jay Bird says Queen will go to Seattle, but damn, I would love Queen. Yeah. I agree with you, Jay Bird. I think Queen will go to Seattle just because of the Mike McDonald system. I think that's an easy plug and play for him. So I totally agree about Pat McQueen. Although I would love to have him more than Pat McQueen, I would like to have Levante David for sure. Levante David or White from Tampa, either one, I guess. Loyalty for Lifetime, Pat Queen. Yep, loyalty for Lifetime. Let's get Michael Thomas. I think that's a lost cause, to be honest with you. I wouldn't want Michael Thomas. So we'll see. Donnie says we had no linebackers, couldn't stop the run. Been a Cowboy fan since 1972, won Super Bowl with defense. Yeah. Well, Juan also says Mike Evans. I wouldn't mind having Mike Evans, but listen, man, we got people to pay too. We got Micah Parsons. We got CeeDee Lamb. We got Tyrone Smith, I believe, as well. I don't know if we're going to keep him or not. DC for Life says LV coming back or retiring. I don't know, man. I think he's going to take some time off, I believe. This is nothing I heard or anything like that, but you just got to realize as a person and think about, hey, man, I had these neck injuries. I think I need to sit down and talk to my family and see how I feel and go from there as far as LVE is concerned, in my opinion. DC for Life. Juan says Dak will get paid. I think they have to extend Dak to try to get this team together. and go all in. As Jerry says, he's going all in. Loyalty for Lifetime says, let's go get Washington linebackers. DQ won't use them. I don't know. I think DQ might have learned his lesson with this Cowboys team, that not having off the ball linebackers or natural linebackers is going to hurt you in the NFL. Jaybird says all the Dak haters need to stop. Who finishes second MVP, leads number one offense, and fans hate. Yeah, I mean, listen. I think at the end of the day, look, I'm hard on Dak. I'm one of the. I'm really hard on Dak. I really am. But at the end of the day, it's hard to find the Daks in this NFL. It's hard to find a good quarterback. I'm not even talking about elite or great. I'm talking about good. It's hard to find a good quarterback. So, I mean, all these people that want to get rid of Dak, I mean, what's the backup plan? I guess I should say. So to me, man, it's I understand, man. It's hard to move away from him, but it's hard to find good quarterbacks, man, in the NFL. You just kind of have to construct this team a lot better and go from there, I believe. DC for Life says, why I don't know what you're trying to say. Juan says Dak needs to take a home deal so we can get him some weapons to win a game. Juan, I totally agree. I think Dak does need to take a home deal. Is he going to do that? I mean, look, guys, this game it's not promised. So would you take a hometown discount or make as much money as you can before you have to walk away from the game? That's a big decision that you have to make. Jay Bird says you can't hate on him for the Green Bay game. Defense gives up 41. They covered CD. Mahomes loses. Yeah, but Jay Bird, listen, man, there's a difference between a quarterback that can those quarterbacks that are elite throw their receivers open, even though they're covered. There's a difference now. You know what I mean? DC for Life, if you get rid of Dak, you might as well hit the reset button. Yeah, for sure. We got a comment. Paul Bennett. I don't think I've ever heard your name on here. Welcome to the show. He says, I agree. Keep Dak. Yeah, I mean, guys, it just makes too much sense for us to get rid of him and get all that dead money. It doesn't make any sense. So all those people that want to say that is just, yeah, I mean, you're kind of beating yourself in a wall. You're hitting a wall. So DC for Life says, I'm sorry, Loyalty for Lifetime says people are dumb. HV, you seen free agent quarterback Cousins and Jimmy G all trash. No one better than Dak. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. You got to kind of roll this thing around again and see what you can plug and play, and hopefully get another defensive tackle and a big body tackle, and then some off the ball linebackers. And honestly, I hate to say this, but I've been saying it for a long time, and you guys know, you've heard me here on the Cowboys Cast. I think we need a center. I honestly think we need a strong, smart center like Biotish. I love the dude. Don't get me wrong. He's a good player. But I think this offensive line only goes as far and is as great as your center is. Straight up. Look at all the players that are playing right now, either in the championships or in the Super Bowl. They're all really good centers. I don't think Biotish is in that category. I think he got beat a lot. He got exposed. And I think you need a strong anchor on this offensive line to be better and make it far in the playoffs. To be honest, I think that's a big issue for us. Jay Bird says, let's wait and judge Dak at the end of the career. Yeah, you're right, man. Story, Dak isn't that bad. They just want Dak to play like Mahomes when they don't have the scheme for it. Yeah, you're right, man. He ain't no Mahomes. He's not, man. You got to play within his abilities. DC for Life. Wow, that's a surprising comment. What comment? Jay Bird says story very accurate. Yep. I'm telling you, man, Biotish needs to go. I don't think we signed that dude. Yeah, the center. I'm telling you, man, I don't think we shouldn't sign him. I think we get one of those top centers in the draft, and then they're good. I think they can plug and play, honestly, just from what I'm watching. So we'll see, right? Everything is up in the air. We'll see what the Cowboys want to do. Jaybird says, guess who else ain't Mahomes? Everyone else. Jaybird's right, man. I'm gonna give Jaybird a round of applause on that one, man. He's right. I mean, Mahomes is just on a different level, not the same. We got Aaliyah. We'll keep the clapping going. Aaliyah, welcome to the show. It's been a while. We took a break. She says Dak be getting sacked like crazy. Yeah, and that's my point to it is I think we need better center play. Honestly, in my opinion, our guards should not be helping our center. I think it's the other way around. I think our center should be helping our guards. In my opinion, DC for life. Tyrone Smith done or him back? I would probably bring him back on a discount. Because at the end of the day, if you do find somebody, he could be your swing tackle as well. Story says, I think Michigan got the best center this year. Ooh, I don't know, Story. I'd have to think about that one. I like the guy from Oregon as well. He's pretty good. And also the guy from Georgia. Those two, I think those are my top two right now. Obviously, as the months go by, we'll change our minds, but those are my top two, I think. But Michigan guys not far behind. Jay Bird says, I'll tell you who Dak is just as good as Lamar. Yep. Loyalty for lifetime still needs to be better. Still does need to be better. Story. We need to let Tyrone Smith walk so we can clear up 50 million. We're not going to clear up 50 million with Tyrone Smith going, man. He's not taking up that much money. So let's see. Loyalty for lifetime says put La El at right guard. Steele is trash. Yeah, Steele did not have a good season, man. I don't know what it was about him, but we will see. Yeah. I mean, Tyrone Smith has void years. The last 2 years, and it's only 7 million, I believe, somewhere there. 6 million. So I mean, I don't know if we bring him back or not. Do we? So I don't know, man. I don't know what's gonna happen, but I would bring him back on a small deal. Um Story says I forgot the school. I think it was Oregon. Yeah. Yeah, Oregon is the best center, man. He's really good. Loyalty for lifetime, La El Collins. Oh, I got you. Collins. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, DC for life. Gotta go. Peace, y'all. Hey, welcome to the show, man. Be safe and have a good night. Dallas 88 Zimmerman is not right, man. Going back to the past. Zimmer, yeah. I mean, that's how a lot of people feel. Some people like it and some people don't. DC for life. Keep it going. I appreciate it, brother. Thank you so much. Jay Bird, pay King IR Barkley incentive contract or draft best young buck running back. I can agree with that too. I think there's so many running backs in this draft that you don't have to really have to draft one too early. But I believe we're on the right track, Jay Bird. We do have to definitely draft one for sure. Aaliyah says y'all need chill on Steele. He tore like 3 different things on his knee. Yeah, but look, this is you have to understand. I get where you're coming from, but when you pay somebody the third highest right tackle in the NFL, you can't be making mistakes like he's making. Uh, calling a spade a spade. Um, V9Z Zach Tack says, hopefully it's bang, no super rain. Yeah, it's funny. Let's see for lifetime. Zimmer better than Rivera or other DC they looked at. Yeah, I kind of agree. Other than Vabro, we didn't even talk to him, but I agree. V9 says Zach Attack, go Chiefs. Yep. Jaybird says, please, God, don't let the Niners win the Super Bowl. Story says, we need to address the middle linebacker position. We need strong and smart middle linebacker to control our defense. Yep. Totally agree. And that's why I believe in the whole Levante David or one of those guys, White, to play in this defense. So we will see. Let's see. Aaliyah says, making mistakes after 9 months of tearing his knee apart. I mean, so this is the issue with Steele, right? And we can agree to disagree. He wasn't playing like that in the beginning of the season. It just started happening. Um, and if you look at his movement, it's more of it wasn't even his. I don't think it was his knees. I think it was a confidence and technique with his hands. Every time he tried to block somebody, he was kind of uh what do they call it? Like he would let them know what he was doing instead of kind of jab checking and changing up his hands, right? Not only that, but when he would block somebody, if y'all go back and watch the film, he would put his head down and move forward, and that kind of lost it for him for a lot of the times that he lost. So that I think that's kind of what happened to him. If that happened to my knee, I'd make mistakes overall too. Um, yeah, but let's think about what he was getting paid, and he wasn't playing that like that in the beginning of the year, and all of a sudden he just kind of nosedived bad. Um, Attack Z-Tac says EC4 live. Let's go. Jaybird says I'm willing to see Zimmer. Zimmer has great history against Shanahan tree. Yep. I actually went over that about the chart about that. So good catch, Jaybird. Story, we need to get Patrick Queen. He would be better. I agree. I don't care who wins Super Bowl. My numbers are 3-3, 800, a quarter, go threes. Nice. Jaybird for real story, but I think he's going to Seattle. I think he's going to go to Seattle as well. I believe. Getting paid a lot isn't going to change the outcome of play after injury. No, you're 100% correct. But I'm going back to the Cowboys signing people that they shouldn't sign. Obviously, I think I talked to Jay Tuck on X before about this. Um, we paid Steele, the third highest right tackle, I think at the time, to play the third best tackle on the right side, but the Cowboys continue to make those mistakes and pay those kind of people, right? Like let's say for instance Gallup, you paid Gallup and you didn't even use him. So that's my point to it is I believe sometimes the players have an upper hand when the Cowboys have to play these players and they play them anyways. I'm not saying that we shouldn't have paid Steele, but at that amount, I probably wouldn't have paid him that much. I probably would have been more on the 10 to 12 million range instead of the 19 to 20. Um, in case something does happen or he's not recovered from his knee or he's not doing better, I think that's where I'm kind of um, coming from. But still did not play well. In my opinion, overall, he did not play well. Um, Story says we need to start letting people walk so we can up some space. Yeah, and I believe we're on the same level here. Like the Cowboys need to understand, even though they draft or pick up free agents and all that, rookie free agents. I think at some point either you let them walk or you find somebody else. And that's kind of what gets us in trouble a little bit sometimes. Aaliyah says the Cowboys don't even know what'll happen in the future, so can't blame them or paying people a lot of times. Yeah, I mean, but other teams do let people walk because they don't want to pay them that much. Um, and so those are the things you got to kind of think about. I hope Steele does recover this year. Now, now if he does come back and he plays the same way he played last year, we're gonna have a lot of issues. And Dak's gonna keep getting sacked. And so you have to protect him. And those are the kind of decisions you have to make. Loyalty for Lifetime says, I want a bad running back, a real darn running back, not Deuce, not Pollard, not Rico, a real smash mouth. Yeah, I think everybody wants that. Story says we are 28th in cap space. Yeah, but there's a lot of things that we can do to kind of clear that up. Just so you know, I think they can make a lot of moves to clear up close to 50 million. I think, and close to maybe closer to 60, maybe. So that's probably about it. Um, it's not easy to find elite O line. I'm not even talking about elite. I'm just talking about playing good football. And he gave up a lot of sacks. Um, well, I don't even know if he gave up a lot of sacks. He probably gave up more pressures than anything, but he did not play well. I think a lot of people. I think Aaliyah, what we're getting at is we expect him to be the third best right tackle in the NFL when you get paid third best tackle. And if you think he played third best tackle, then that's your opinion. But he did not. And we're not even talking about elite. We're talking about play the third best right tackle, and we don't think he did. Um, so that's kind of what we're getting at. Um, what did she say? I'm not even talking about Steele. I'm talking about drafting O line. It's not easy to find elite O line. No, and you're right. It's not, and I think that's why if you looked at the NFL overall, they were having a hard time. A lot of teams were having a hard time finding offensive tackles, even good ones, even backups, because they're so low on great or good
offensive linemen. You're right about that, 100%. It's hard to find them nowadays. So everybody wants to keep the one that they have because if they let them go, they're gonna pick them up. Loyalty for life. I'm serious. I cuss so much. My abuelita was a sailor. That's funny. That is funny. Um, but yeah, it's hard to find offensive line. Coaches, what's going on? Still needs to be let go. Never lived up to expectations. I don't know about that. I think you give him another year and see where he's at. But if he's still making the same mistakes, I think you might have to rethink a little bit. But at this point, you kind of have to stock up on those offensive line before you let that guy go because who's really going to replace him? It's going to be hard. So we got to think about those kind of things. But back to Zimmer, right? Like I said, I think he's a man that leads men. I think that's the type of guy he is. He's very hard nosed. He's gonna let you know. I think Darren Woodson talked about this on his interview and said, "Hey man, this guy's tough. He's gonna let you know. He's gonna make you want to quit. He's gonna make you be disciplined." So at the end of the day, man, like I think it's good for the Dallas Cowboys. I would have preferred a younger coach, but at the end of the day, I think the one they picked, they made the right choice. So I'm okay with it. I'm not ecstatic about it, but I'm okay with it. Aaliyah says that was my point. Do you want to let those guys go and Dak possibly get sacked every play? I would fear the Dak's life. But that's my point: is the Cowboys get put in that situation. Where they feel like they're backed in the corner and they got to play this guy. Jaybird sent TikTok, the TikTok times 9. Hey, thank you so much, Jaybird. I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. Here, should we play a song or something when somebody? No, you don't like. You guys don't like that. But I appreciate it, Jaybird. Thank you for the token of appreciation, man. Thank you so much. Jaybird, like I said, he sent those TikToks times 9. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much. But other than that, I'm just saying, man, I'm happy with the hire. I'm not ecstatic, but I'm happy. I like it. I think he brings discipline to this defense, and I think we need that. Loyalty for Lifetime says we started Steele because Collins wasn't playing hard. Now we should start Collins to get Steele going up. And we can't go back against Steele. You're paying that guy $19 million a year. You ain't going back from him. Coaches also need a better center that can take a promised land with a good offensive line. I just said that. We went into that. I believe Biotish needs to walk. And that's my point to the other, the Cowboys getting backed up. Hey, I'm a Pro Bowler. I did this for y'all. Y'all need to pay me. I would let Biotish walk, man, in my opinion. Just let him walk. But you have to have a plan. That's the thing. If you don't have a plan, then that's when you get in trouble. And I think the Cowboys have been good about plugging in some good players in free agency to make sure that they draft the best available, right? I think TJ Bass could probably play center. I think he can play left guard. I think he can play right guard. But ultimately, I think that's your backup plan is TJ Bass playing center, in my opinion. I think he's that versatile of a player that he can play center. So we'll see. Aaliyah says, I love the hire because, in my opinion, the NFL is getting back to old school football, and we need a DC that is familiar with the old school way. Yeah, I think honestly, I think Mike Zimmer is just old school, and he's gonna hold these guys accountable. And I think I like that part too. Regina Green, welcome, Regina. I have Hoffman and Bass. Yep, Hoffman played pretty well too. You're right, Regina. I think he played really good as well. So I think I'm happy with those duo playing maybe center, both of them. So those are your backups, and you can take a chance on let Biotish walk, and then try to take one of those centers in the draft. My opinion. So, Loyalty for Lifetime says restructure his damn contract. Yep. C3 says accountability is key. C3, I 100% agree with you, man. I go back to the Mike Zimmer thing, man. I think he's going to hold these guys accountable. They're probably not going to like it. It's going to be tough in that room with Mike Zimmer because he's going to let you have it. And I think that's what they need to play disciplined football. Loyalty for Lifetime says Dallas' biggest mistake, they pay mid players like top players, Dak, Pollard, Steele, Gallup, all mid. And that's my point to going back, man, is that's what they do. They they play these players that are, I'm not going to say mediocre. They're good players. They're just not what you're paying is you're not getting back in return of what you think that you're paying. So Coach he says we will try to trade Trey Lance. I think that's a possibility. I think a possibility of trading Trey Lance is there. Specifically if you get what you want from him, because I think we gave up a fourth for him. So if you can get a fourth back or a third, then I think you do that, honestly, because I think Dak's going to be here for the long haul, to be honest with you guys. Team Garcia 4 says, your opinion, do you think we spend money on new players? We don't spend most times. Look, Garcia, I think if it's true about Jerry Jones talking about going all in, look, listen, I think you go get a linebacker. You go get an off the ball linebacker, one of these free agents, either Pat Queen, Levante David, White, one of those linebackers. And then you draft, maybe you go get another defensive tackle, a big body defensive tackle in the free agency, and you get a linebacker, maybe two linebackers. I don't know. And a defensive tackle. And I think we're fine on the defensive side of the ball, honestly, because you got Overshown coming back. And I think we're fine there. The other thing is on offense, I think we need a center. Either you go in free agency and get one, or you draft one. And at the end of the day, I think we need a left tackle. Either way the Cowboys want to play it, I think, in my opinion, Tyrone Smith or Tyler Smith plays better at left guard, in my opinion. People might not agree with me. I think he's a better left guard than a left tackle. So I think you try to keep him as left guard, and you go find yourself a left tackle if you have to, or bring back Tyron Smith on a small contract as a swing tackle. You got a lot of options. Coach, he says we will try to trade. Yep, we talked about that. Loyalty for Lifetime says it's all smoke, no money to go all in. Dak Parsons, CD, Genie, talk all the money. Yeah, I think this year might be different. Coach, there's nothing wrong with Cooper Rush for backup or start a few games. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. I think that's the way to go, though. So as far as that is concerned, Aaliyah says, I think their backup plan is Brock Hoffman too. I think that's what it is. We have Hoffman and Bass. Yep. Jose says we just have old school players. Yeah, we do. We really do. Aaliyah, we aren't trading my GOAT Trey Lance. I think we might if the right trade is there. Look, the Rams might be calling for Trey Lance. The Rams might say, hey, we'll give you a third for Trey Lance. I would take that deal. I'm just saying, I would take that deal, depending on Dak's contract, obviously. Regina Green says, yep, let Zach Martin say, I don't want to play tackle. Laugh out loud. Yeah, he can play right guard. I think he's fine where he's at. I think we're okay with that. I think he has one more year in his contract, so we'll be all right. Aaliyah says, no McCarthy said Trey is in their future. Hey, we can say that, but what if somebody says, we'll give you a second for Trey Lance? That changes everything. I don't care what anybody says about a future. If somebody comes calling with a good pick, everything's on the table at that point. But I get what you're saying, Aaliyah. I get what the Dallas Cowboys are doing in case Dak goes out with a major injury. They still got a young quarterback. So I kind of agree with that for sure. Aaliyah says, I'm not giving anyone a young quarterback. It depends on the pick, and it depends on if they give you a second. It probably won't happen, but I'm just saying, if they give you a second and there's somebody there in the second round that you really like, you might take that deal. Let's see. Loyalty for life. Lance to Minnesota, second round pick. I'd take that 100%. Team Garcia, I feel a big splash signing coming to make him fans happy because of what happened. I think so too. I think if you look at Jerry Jones, he's not getting any younger. And he wants a big splash. He wants to really put this team together and try to make that run. He has no choice. Loyalty for lifetime. He's from Minnesota. Lance says, yep. C3, I don't think so. I think he's saying loyalty for life. But yeah, I mean, a lot of things could happen. But like I said, I like the hire. I'm not mad about it. And I think the biggest thing is he's going to call defensive plays, but I think the discipline part and holding people accountable is a part that we really need on this team. in the long run. Aaliyah says, why do people want to trade Trey Lance for some damn picks that you could miss on? Well, I think you have to understand that a lot goes into, you can't just say, no, I'm not going to trade him at all. Like, as an organization, you have to think, man, if somebody comes knocking on my door, what are my options? Am I okay with that? I'm not. At the end of the day, if you get a second round pick, let's just play roulette a little bit, right? What if there's a quarterback in the second round that's right there that's better than Trey Lance? Do you not take that pick and pick him up? And now you have him for what, 4 years? So that's my point. Like, you're still gonna, if they ask for it, you're gonna think about it. I'm not saying to do it, but it just depends on the situation, what players there in the second round, if that does happen. Let's see. Regina Green says, how much do you trust Al Harris since you wanted to leave? That's a good question, Regina. Hey, look, that's an iffy one because he did want to leave. There's a lot of conspiracy theories, but look, if somebody's asking me to go somewhere and they're not letting me, I'm going to feel some type of way, being honest with it. So I don't know, but I think Al Harris is a very good, loyal guy. I think he's a professional. I will say that, and I think he'll do his job. I think he'll be just fine, to be honest. Aaliyah says, "Y'all act like that getting younger." What do you? We're not saying that. We're just saying, like, the situation arises. You can't just say no. You have to look at everything and say, hey, because what if you do get the second pick and there's a quarterback still there and you can go get him? I would probably make that trade. If your scouts tell you, hey, this guy's better than Trey Lance, I would go get him because now you have that guy under rookie contract for 4 more years, is my point. If not, then you have to pay Lance. So that's my point. I'm not saying do it. I'm just saying you got to entertain it somewhat. Aaliyah says Trey Lance is too beautiful for these other bum teams. That's funny. I think that's what it comes down to it for you, Aaliyah. C3 says, I don't think this is related to expect above a fourth or Lance. No, I don't think so. He hasn't done anything to prove C3 otherwise. Coach he says Bland and Diggs both this next year. That's going to be crazy. Bland and Diggs is going to be insane. Loyalty for lifetime, trade him because he will only be a backup in Dallas. Excuse me, Jerry's not getting rid of Dak. Yeah, I think the consensus is that. Team Garcia 4 says, what running back do you want? If I could get one running back I really like, and I know it's not going to happen. I honestly, Garcia, I like Benson from Florida State, man. I really like that running back, man. You got to go watch the film. He's a really good running back, kind of thicker running back, but he's still fast, quick. He can do everything. He can run down the middle, run the outside. He's a 3-down back. He can go on the swing pass. He can catch passes beautifully. So I mean, he's not super great, but he's pretty good at it. So yeah. Let's see. Oh my goodness, is Stephen White? What's going on, Stephen White? He says hi, y'all. And Regina says Stephen White, heart and fire emoji. And Stephen White says Regina. Aaliyah says, okay, chat, y'all aren't allowed to talk about Trey Lance anymore. Only me. That's funny. Stephen White says, Aaliyah, fire emoji. Stephen White says, Que hubo? What's up, man? Hey, we're just here. We took a break. We had to, man. It was a long season. We had things to do, coaching, college, work. You know how it goes. Aaliyah says, at Stephen, hi. So C3 says, yup. Loyalty for Lifetime says Jacobs from, I can't read that. C3 says he's the truth. Yeah, man, he is. He's a really good running back, man, for sure. I really like that guy. He's so good, but I don't think the Cowboys are going to be there when he's taken. Braylon Allen. I don't think I've seen him yet. Is he the one from Wisconsin? Yeah, I think he's the one from Wisconsin. I believe. Can't remember. Aaliyah says, Steven, please tell these people to leave Trey Lance alone. Oh man, hey man, I'm not gonna lie to you. If I'm a GM and somebody's calling for a second or third about Trey Lance, I'm gonna have to entertain it. I'm not gonna pull the trigger, but I'm gonna talk to my scouts and talk to everybody. Look, listen, what player can we take in the second or third round if that's what they're giving us? And is it gonna benefit us or not? So I'm just saying. Stephen White with the crying emoji. Aaliyah says never, and then Stephen White says, "Let's see what Trey has, huh?" I don't think we'll ever see that. We'll see unless Dak gets hurt. Yes, Steven. So we'll see. Um, hey, make sure y'all on TikTok, make sure you share the live so we can get out there. And y'all press the like buttons, man. How many, where are we at with the likes? I can't even see. C3, I like Blake Corum. He runs hard. I like Blake Corum too. He's a good running back. Benson, man, that guy's a beast. Team Garcia says, I know Dak is our quarterback, but if you look at his history, I can't remember how many good teams he's beat. That's the consensus with Dak, and that's the truth. If you look at how many good teams he's beat, there ain't very many. There ain't very many. Johnny Hernandez says, what do you think about Derrick Henry coming to the Cowboys? Look, I think you have to entertain it 100%. Like nothing is off the table when it comes to these free agents. You have to try to go to some of these top tier free agents if you want to win the Super Bowl. You have to. So Derrick Henry is one of them. He's Derrick Henry, Levante David, Pat Queen, I think Reader, I think the guard from the Ravens if he's not signed. I mean, you got to take a hard look at all these players to make this team great. Lakers for Life says Cowboys are heartless. Hey, Loyalty for Lifetime says Josh Jacobs is Las Vegas Raiders. Yeah, that's another one, but I kind of like Derrick Henry a little bit more. Aaliyah says, can't wait to see Diggs and Overshown next season. We were robbed this season with them getting hurt. We were, man. I think. Hey, look, I think a lot of people also forget about our tight end Stevens, the rookie. Like that guy was playing pretty good, and he's like DK Metcalf at tight end. Like he's a pretty big dude and very athletic. Some people are forgetting about that guy. I think he's going to be a difference maker next year if he does come back to playing shape and be able to play the way he did before. I think he'll be fine. I think he'll be a big piece in this offense. C3 says takes a lot more than just Dak to beat good teams. Stopping the run will help you do that. Yep, it will, man. C3 also says I like Josh Jacobs' age more than Derrick Henry. But look, I'm saying Derrick Henry, Josh Jacobs is going to want a long-term deal. That's the issue you're talking about. And are they going to franchise tag him? We don't know. Derrick Henry, on the other hand, might be cheap for you. So that's my whole point. Is it's Derrick Henry's probably going to be a little bit cheaper. Aaliyah says, "Oh my God, I said the same thing. John Stevens is him." Yep, I'm telling you, man. That guy is going to be amazing. C3 says Jacob will cost a lot. I agree. Yeah, and that's why I'm leaning towards more Derrick Henry, just because he's going to be a little bit cheaper. Lakers for Life says Cowboys need some dogs on the team. They do, man. They really do, and that's why I kind of like these linebackers in free agency. Those guys are dogs, and I think that kind of patches up your linebackers a little bit. Javalinas 10 says we need more players like Jake Ferguson. Boys play with heart, fire. Yeah, he does, man. He does, and I totally agree. I think we need those kind of players, man, for sure. And I think Mike Zimmer is going to bring that fire out of those guys because that's the type of coach he is. He expects a lot. He holds them he holds them accountable. He's a very disciplined coach. He's going to get after you. He doesn't care how old you are. So yeah, Johnny Hernandez says I agree. C3 at Lakers for Lifetime, totally agree. Yep. So we got Stephen White here says draft line first and most, squeeze in Braylon Allen and Brendan Rice. I mean, yeah, man. I mean, it's a long season here in the off season, so we will see what happens. I don't know about Brendan Rice. I'm kind of iffy on him a little bit. I still need to watch more film on him to give you my final say, but I did say everybody said on the Cowboys cast, you guys know, I said Sam Laporta was the best tight end in the draft. And there are a lot of people that laughed at me, and look what happened. I'm just saying, the film don't lie. Loyalty for Lifetime says, we always think those preseason players are good and then they never do nothing regular season. That is true. Team Garcia 4. I see Cowboys draft a really good running back and bringing TP back on a cheaper deal. I would not bring TP back. Lakers for Life. Zim needs to discipline the defense. He will. I think that's what he's going to do. Coach, he says, where did Quinn go to? He went to the Commanders, man. That's where he went. And it's going to be crazy because Kellen Moore is in Philadelphia. You got Quinn in Commanders land. So this is going to be a very interesting next year, man. It's going to be very interesting. I'm excited though. But let's see. Let me see this real quick. Y'all need to smash those. Hold on real quick. Make sure y'all hit that like button and share this. Make sure on YouTube, man, you hit the like button. So on TikTok, we have 1,800 likes. We appreciate it. Hey, let's get to 4,000 guys. Press that like button. Share it with anybody or everybody. Let's get the likes up and share the content. Stephen Weiss says lamb and rice. Yeah, we'll see, man. I gotta watch some film. I'm not gonna doge into that yet, but I gotta watch the film. Aaliyah says, all I'm saying is Zimmer will actually use Sam Williams and Wanya Thomas, unlike some people. I 100% agree. I think Sam Williams needs to be a defensive end, and if we're gonna use Micah Parsons as a defensive end, he needs to be a defensive end, and DeMarcus Lawrence needs to kick back inside as a defensive tackle. And I think you have a great duo with Hankins as well. I'm pretty sure DeMarcus Lawrence can hold up through the season playing D tackle, but we'll see. I think that's a good combination. Then imagine you have Levante Davis and maybe Pat Queen, maybe White, and then on the nickel package you got Overshun. Man, it could be a crazy defense. I'm telling you right now. And then you got Wanya Thomas playing that strong safety. So the packages are, I mean, it would be crazy. So we'll see, but only time will tell. Loyalty for Lifetime says TP play like we got it. We understand. Lakers for Lifetime. Do you see D-Law on First Take? Yeah, I did, man. I kind of cringed when he said they were tired. I cringed really bad. I'm not gonna lie. He might have been nervous. Team Garcia 4. Do you think we need another wide receiver and why? I do think we need another wide receiver, and I will tell you why. If you see the Cowboys struggles, it was hard for them to get third downs, right? In critical situations. And I think the person that we need is in the slot, that small kind of gadget, kind of quick player. And I think we have Turpin in that, but I don't think he's that type of player. I'm talking about a Zay Flowers type of player. That's the kind of player I'm talking about. Fast twitch, quick, that can get you that first down, kind of like Cole Beasley was back in the day. I think that's why we need another wide receiver and that kind of wide receiver on our team. If people want to, double team CD, go ahead. But you're going to be one-on-one with our slot receiver, and he's going to be quick and fast, and he's going to get us those first downs. So I think that's why we need a wide receiver, another wide receiver, and why it'll help us in the future. Loyalty for Lifetime says Jerry's going to give Zimmer first pick and draft to welcome him back. Watch. We'll see, man. Dallas Cowboys 956 says that's true, bro. Appreciate it. Regina Green says, what running backs you keeping? Look, at this point, all the running backs are off the table, in my opinion, man. I think you still bring some back, but at the end of the season, man, you got to cut some of these players. I think Derrick Henry, I mean, it's a no-brainer. That's a no-brainer. And I think you draft a running back. And I think from there, you kind of let the chips where they fall. Who's the best running backs? But I think you need to draft a young running back right now. That's just an all-around back, or you can do Lightning and Thunder. Derrick Henry's the Thunder, and then you grab one of these running backs that's kind of like A-Chain from Miami. So, I mean, you can do however you want, but I think we do need to draft one. Dallas Cowboys 956. That's true, bro. H says Mayfield should have one comeback player. Nah, I think Joe Flacco played pretty good. So we'll see. Y'all don't realize D-Law avoided trying to throw anyone under the bus. Oh my God, leave Tank alone. Yeah, I think that's what it came down to. Um, Gilbert Almanza says we have always started slow in playoff games with no fire, and then it throws our entire gameplay out. And you know what? Gilbert's 100% correct, man. And I've always said this on here on the Cowboys cast. Look, we always start slow, but who does that fall on? That falls on the head coach, right? Now, I got a story for y'all. This reminds me. I don't know if this is the same Gilbert Almanza. I might be wrong, but I got a story to tell y'all. We really don't do this here, but I'm gonna start this thing where we call a hero of the month. Who's the hero of the month, right? And it might be the same Gilbert. I'm not sure, but I got a story for y'all. This is pretty funny, right? So here we go. He posted this on Facebook, right? This is hilarious. Now, mind you, I don't approve of violence, but hey, sometimes you got to stick up for yourself, right? So check this out. Check this out. This is funny, man. I love this, right? So he says, right? Hopefully it's okay with you, Gilbert. I don't mean to, indulge into your life, but I thought this was really good, man. So he says, so my daughter was sent to the principal's office for the first time. She wore her Cowboys cheer jersey for Jersey Day at school. Some annoying kid walked up to her and told her that the Cowboys suck. So she immediately slapped him and got into a scuffle with that boy. I don't condone violence, but I'm gonna have to give her a pass on this one. Sometimes you got to slap them up. I'm just saying that's a Cowboy fan, man. That's a Cowboy fan. So shout out to his daughter. I'm not gonna say her name or anything, but shout out to his daughter, right? We're gonna give her a round of applause. She is the hero of the month for February. She's a cheerleader, guys. But yeah, she gets the hero of the month. Thank you so much for sharing that with us, Gilbert. We appreciate it, man. I thought it was awesome. I had to share it with everybody. I thought it was funny. But thank you guys so much. It was funny, man. I had to. Sorry. I loved it. But here we go. Let's see. We got a lot of comments. Here we go. Regina Tolbert. I think we'll keep Tolbert, but I think we need to keep drafting. You can never have enough wide receivers, to be honest. I like Tolbert still, though. Hunter Lupi stays. Yes, I think he stays as well. Stephen White, Thunder. We could do that too. It doesn't matter. Elias says keep Rico Dotto. I think you let the chips fall. Gilbert says it is him. Yeah. Hey, Gilbert, I appreciate it, man. Thank you for sharing that. He said share away, laugh out loud. Elias says, why did Regina randomly say Tolbert? I think she said Tolbert because we're talking about drafting another wide receiver. So she's saying, what about Tolbert? Like, you don't need to draft somebody. But I think Gallup's gone. I think that's the only reason I say that. Stephen White says Gilbert knows. Fire emoji. He does, man. Hey, he raised her right. I'll tell you that for sure, 100%. Gilbert says that she's only 8 years old. I programmed her well. Hey, man, I'll give that a round of applause, man. She's a true Cowboy fan. 100%, man. 100%. Appreciate it. Regina Green says Tolbert showed up when he was called on. Yeah, he did. I'm not saying he's bad, but I think we need to continue to draft to keep that receiver core young. Aaliyah says, Regina, girl, you had me worried. No. I see where Regina's saying. Why draft if you have Tolbert? But listen, I think honestly, Gallup's gone. We didn't use him correctly, and I think you bring in another young wide receiver to keep that roster churning always and keep them young. Let's see. Loyalty for Lifetime says, all I know is if we go down by 14, we eating crow for dinner. We have no comeback game. Yeah. Garcia says, who's your first pick in the draft? Man, that's hard to say right now. I mean, it's so early right now. It's my dream pick. Honestly, there's two guys. One would be the Oregon State center or Adrian Cooper, the linebacker for Texas A&M. Those are my two dream picks. And I'm only saying that because those two could probably fall to us. But if we didn't have those two guys are probably going to be the only ones probably available. Maybe. So those are my picks. Aaliyah says Gallup don't even want to be here. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, I don't think he's going to be here very long. Loyalty for Lifetime says we need to trade Shoemaker to Chargers for a pick. Harbaugh can leave him and Monty for his first and second. That ain't gonna happen. But hey, man, look, I had a lot of fun. The Cowboys cast is back, baby. I'm fired up. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for holding strong for us. I think we have 2,300 likes. We appreciate you guys. We love you guys. Thank you for coming on with us. Look, we've been off. We took a break, but we're back. Ready to have fun. Let's see. Stephen White says Tyler Guyton 24 pick. I don't know. We'll see, man. I don't know if will Tyler Guyton be there. I don't think he's gonna be there, man. You think he's gonna be there? I mean, we'll see. I like the pick though. He's a good offensive tackle, right, for Oklahoma. I like him, but we'll see, man. Let's see. Johnny Hernandez says, I think the defensive coach needs to be on the field with the players. I think so too. I think Mike Zimmer will be on the field with them. In my opinion, I think that's what'll happen. I don't think he'll be up in the booth, to be honest with you, but only time will tell. We'll see. Stephen West says Tyler or Powers. Man, I don't know. That's a tough one. I probably have to go with Tyler. I think I'd have to go with Tyler. I don't know. We have to watch the film, man. That's a hard one. Let's see. Aaliyah says offensive linemen will be gone like flies in the first round. Yeah, I think so too. I think that's why I'm not keen on that. I think he'll be gone, man. Those offensive tackles are going to be gone. But we'll see, especially those teams that are picking the top 10, they're going to want to build those trenches for sure, 100%. So I don't think they'll be there, but we'll see. Hey, again, thank you guys so much. We're back. We will be going live from here on out a lot more. We're probably going to touch, obviously, on the Super Bowl. We'll talk about the Super Bowl. I might go live on the Super Bowl time, maybe right before we kick off, just so we can get together and see what you guys think about the game. Talk a little bit Cowboys, and then go from there. But we will let you know. Obviously, Steel ain't it, and Tyrone is that ice. Yeah. Oh, Hoodlum. Hoodlum is part of the original crew, man. Welcome, Hoodlum. Welcome, man. Glad to see you. Hey, Stephen Wise says, thank you, brother. No, thank you, man. Thank you guys for being on the show. Loyalty for Lifetime says, I want the jacket. Hey, this jacket's pretty cool. Look, I'll show y'all. This jacket's actually pretty cool. It's awesome. I like it. It's a good jacket. It is. It's hard to find, actually. I tried finding the same jacket and it was hard, man. It was hard to find. Stephen White says, chat cheers. Stephen White says, Hoodlum. Fire emoji. Yeah, Hoodlum. Hey, man, we're going to go live, probably kick off at Super Bowl. But look, man, hey, I appreciate you guys. Let's get the party started, baby. We're just beginning. Look, we know the season's over for us, but hey, it starts after the Super Bowl, man. Gilbert Amanza says, going to turn into a Swiftie for Super Bowl. Can't have 49ers getting the 6. Hey, man, Gilbert's right. We can't have that 6, man. Hey, look, I hate to do that to people, but that's just the way it is, man. We don't want them Niners to win. We're going for the Chiefs. That's just the way it is. P-Stall says, sup. Hey, Gilbert's right, man. Hey, the Chiefs got to put it on. They got to put it on. But we'll see. They're going to have to control Mahomes. But look, this is the Cowboys cast, man. We are for the people, with the people. Y'all are like family. We appreciate y'all. Thank you so much. Hey, the only reason we do this is because of y'all. Y'all keep this show going. Thank you so much. We're blessed. We love you guys. Johnny Hernandez says Cowboys for life. Lifetime for Loyalty says good night, bro. Good night. Hey, TikTok, we love you. We salute you. TikTok, be nice, TikTok. All right. We know sometimes you know. So good night, TikTok. All right, TikTok's over. Hey, YouTube, we appreciate you. As always, keep it real, keep it safe,